Did the Kardashians make a deal with the devil? The Kardashian family has always been known for their fame and wealth, but how did they come to acquire such vast success? Legend has it that an ancestor of the family made a mysterious and sinister pact with 4 witches in Armenia. Since then, the female members of the family have been blessed with abundant luck and fortune. However, their male counterparts seem to suffer from one misfortune after another. Just take Scott Disick, Travis Scott, Caitlyn Jenner, and Kanye West as a few examples. Scott struggles greatly with alcoholism and depression. Travis's career was completely derailed by controversy, and Caitlyn's come out was met with disapproval from within her circle. And Kanye, quite literally gone off the deep end. It's hard not to question if this family is stuck in some sort of dark destiny, but only time will tell if this rumor is true. Follow, because my next story is crazy. Has our history been altered? Throughout history, the lost civilization of Tartaria has been shrouded in mystery. This enigmatic society was thought to be much more advanced than any other at the time, capable of accessing and utilizing atmospheric energy for electricity. This gave them access to unlimited and free energy, which they used to invest their efforts into the pursuit of creativity, love, and self-development. Tartarian Empire advancements and achievements were said to have been vast, with great buildings and structures created all over the world. However, due to their influence, it is believed that an oppressor destroyed this civilization completely, knocking down buildings, erasing evidence from our written records, and silencing stories of this once great culture. Thus, people today use this story as a reminder of why it is important to stay vigilant against tyranny and oppression. Follow, because my next story is crazy. Is this Bible prophecy coming true? Many people's been watching the Euphrates River anxiously, wondering if it will be the sign of doom foretold in the Bible when the ancient fallen angels are released from their watery prison. The river is almost dry, and it seems that time may soon be coming. But long before they can wreak havoc, there will be great signs in the heavens and on earth that will signal the end times. Earthquakes, plagues, wars, all of these will come first. Then when finally the river dries up, a chain of prisoners will be released, and God will set forth his plan for Judgment Day. Follow, because my next story is crazy. This story will make you scared of the woods. A man and his dog were staying in a very isolated cabin in the backcountry of Oregon in early 2010. One day he saw footprints leading up to his cabin, but then they disappeared. He was confused because there were no other cabins nearby. That night he woke up to the sound of someone walking on his roof. Though he didn't want to, he headed to the balcony to take a look. Nothing was there, but then his dog saw something in the forest and started growling. That's when he saw it. A freakishly tall figure squatting on a branch only 20 feet away from him, just staring at him. As he was backing up, he tripped over the door jamb, falling to the ground. He jumped up, grabbed his dog and locked the door, ran to a nearby closet and locked himself in. For hours he listened as the creature knocked on the house, as if asking nicely to just be let in. Follow, because my next story is crazy. 9 people just vanished. In 1959, 9 experienced Russian hikers went on an expedition up the Dalat Pass and never returned. It's what the bodies look like when found that has left many that search for them with nightmares. When arriving at the campsite, they found that all the tents had been cut open from the inside. The gear was still there and it was folded and stacked inside their tents, but there were no bodies to be found. Only 9 sets of footprints leading away from the camp. When finally found, the men had fatal skull fractures and chest fractures. One was missing her eyes with some additional mutilations. They also seemed to be radiating radiation. Who or what was so powerful it could outpower 9 men, crush their bodies, and survive without leaving a trace of evidence? The official cause of death is still unknown, but whatever force made those people die surely left behind a feeling that would scare anyone who goes near that mountain. Follow, because my next story is crazy. Did we really go to space? Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered what might lie beyond it? Rumor has it that there is an unseen barrier around the world that has prevented us from venturing outward into space. In 1962, the US government conducted an experiment known as Operation Fishbowl. to test the atmospheric reaction to nuclear weapons, but some believe that they were attempting to break through this invisible partition. Reports from those who have looked at the stars with their own eyes and through a camera lens describe them twinkling or shimmering through a liquid-like substance, leading further belief to this rather eerie theory. Could it be true? Even rocket launches appear to hit an unforeseen ceiling, resulting in a ripple effect reminiscent of water, leading us to ask again, what lies beyond our world? Follow, because my next story is crazy. What they found in the water will make you sick. In 2013, a Canadian student traveling alone through California decided to spend the night in a sketchy hotel in Los Angeles. After not checking in with her family that night, police discovered that she was missing. CCTV footage showed that she was pressing buttons in the elevator and hiding before running away. That's the last time anyone saw her alive. Weeks later, residents of the hotel noticed an odd taste in the water, leading them to discover her body floating in one of the tanks on the roof. They ruled it an accident, but that would mean that she managed to get onto the locked roof, climb a 10-foot high tank without help, open its lid and crawl inside all by herself. Follow, because my next story is crazy. Most Unusual Deaths, Part 1. A man from England named Alex Mitchell died unusually after a long day of laying bricks. He tuned into his favorite TV show, The Goodies. During an episode, Alex found himself amused by a kilted Scottish man battling a man wielding a tube filled with sausages, and his laughter wouldn't cease. Laughing for prolonged periods of time can cause your heart rate to increase, and after 15 minutes of non-stop laughter, Alex's body became urgently deprived of oxygen. Minutes later, he suffered a stroke and died of laughter. Follow, because part 2 is crazy. Preacher caught on camera. While camping, a group notices one of the girls is missing.
Has been gone for so freaking long.
They go searching for her when they hear her scream. As they get closer, they find this teepee structure, and then this happens. There is a creature in the Mariana Trench. Two explorers descended to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Little did they know that something was waiting for them there. They heard strange sounds of something grinding against the wall of their vessel and saw a massive shadow shape with 3 heads on their monitor. Despite the crew's disbelief, it was only when they reached the surface that they realized that their 5-inch thick vessel had been damaged beyond repair. Did they stumble upon the mythical creature known as Leviathan? Follow, because my next story is crazy. Disturbing unsolved disappearances. On the summer day of 2014, Lars Matejk and his friends were vacationing in Bulgaria. While watching a soccer match, he got into a fight with 4 other men, leading to an injury to his ear, causing him to have to stay a few days longer while his friends flew back home. But something strange happened. His mother received a distressing call from him saying 4 men were coming to kill him. The next day at the airport, CCTV footage shows him dropping all his luggage and sprinting out while screaming, "I don't want to die here," before climbing over a barbed wire fence and vanishing. Follow, because my next story is crazy. Could this experiment reveal why we sleep? 5 prisoners of war in the Soviet Russia were forced to endure a cruel experiment. Locked in a gas chamber with no sleep for 30 days, they slowly lost their mind. On the 9th day of no sleep, one prisoner began screaming until he tore his vocal cords. The other prisoners covered the windows and ripped out their organs, yet somehow remained alive for some time. Wanting to figure out what happened, one of the researchers stayed behind to investigate, and when he asked the remaining prisoner who he was, he replied,
"I am the evil part of your mind, only kept inside by sleeping."
Some people believe this is just a creepypasta, but what if it isn't? Follow, because my next story is crazy. 3 men just disappeared. On December 17th, 3 men arrived at the Flannan Isles to begin their 2-week watch at the lighthouse. They started their week and everything seemed normal, but then a ship that was passing by reported that the lighthouse was not showing any light. When a supply ship arrived on December 21st, the people on the ship realized something was wrong. The door to the lighthouse was locked from the inside. There was food that had been prepared but not eaten. It looked like none of them had left the building since they arrived. The most mysterious detail of all is the storm that occurred on December 14th. Before the storm, everything seemed normal with no hint of what made these men disappear. Afterwards, there was only one final journal entry from that day reading, "Storm ended, sea calm, God is over all." All that remained were unanswered questions as to what happened that fateful day. Follow because my next story is crazy. She should have looked behind her. A woman was at a basketball game one evening. As she made her way back home, she noticed a red truck following her every move. The driver started to flash the high beams of the truck into the woman's car, flooding it with light and causing her to panic. When she finally reached her driveway and honked the horn, calling for help, her father rushes out of the house, only to find out that it wasn't the driver of the truck she had to worry about, but someone else in the back seat of her car. The man in the truck was trying to save her. Follow because my next story is crazy. Disturbing Disappearances Episode 2. In the summer of 2014, two Dutch college students set off on a leisurely walk in Panama. Weeks later, their blue backpack was found containing their cell phones and a camera. And on that camera was photos of their neatly arranged belongings and one of the girls appearing hurt. Scattered remains were later found at the remote camp with no explanation to this day as to what happened. Follow because my next story is crazy. Did the Nazis make it to Mars? During World War II, a team of German researchers went to Antarctica to set up a base, but they found something they did not expect. They met an advanced race from Mars. This race was believed to have shared knowledge of their advanced craftsmanship and engineering abilities, specifically the construction of what is known as the Haunebu 4 aircraft. Making this theory even more mysterious are the pictures from NASA's Mars mission. The pictures show evidence of advanced structures and a water system on Mars. This raises the question, why were the ancient Martians so advanced? Follow because my next story is crazy. Did the Nazis develop otherworldly technology? Housed in a secret facility beneath a stone structure called the Hinge stood a 15-foot tall craft, and it was decorated with mysterious hieroglyphics. It's said that within lay two cylinders filled with an experimental liquid called Serum 525, and it's rumored that once activated, this craft unleashed visions of past and future, bending time and space. But after suffering defeat, it seemed that those in possession of Die Glocke vanished into thin air along with all their technology, leaving one question echoing through time: who has the bell? Follow because my next story is crazy. Were the pyramids built by aliens? Mysterious shafts built into the structures of the pyramids have left us all wondering. That's until Christopher Dunn created a scaled-down replica and found that when water was poured into it, it resonated at a frequency so powerful it emitted electrons. To put this back to scale, some say the energy is equivalent to or even more than that of an earthquake. Even Nikola Tesla, who harnessed energy from the atmosphere with his famous Tesla Tower, drew inspiration from the pyramids. Could there be an advanced technology hidden away in these structures by a more advanced civilization or even an alien race? Follow because my next story is crazy. Did the police stage his death? Mystery surrounds the story of John Lang. He posted on Facebook that the police would kill him that weekend, and then shortly after his death, his YouTube page went viral. Videos showed a large group of officers standing in front of his house in the middle of the night, as well as what appeared to be plainclothes police officers casing his property. Perhaps the most mysterious video is one where a van pulls up and a man with a high-tech camera begins recording from outside of Lang's home. The house burned down and Lang was found inside with stab wounds on his back and stomach that were ruled self-inflicted. Still, questions linger about what happened to John Lang. Follow because my next story is crazy. They should not have ventured into the woods. In early 2010, two 15-year-old kids were camping with their families when they decided to venture into the dark woods. After daring each other to go as far as possible without using their flashlights, they inched into the darkness little by little. As they were walking slowly, they heard a whisper coming from behind them. Scared, they pulled out their flashlights and looked around, but nothing was there. They put the lights away and ventured deeper into the woods. A few minutes later, they heard the whispering again. Sure that something was following them, they turned on the flashlights and saw a frail woman down on all fours, looking from behind the tree. When spotted, the woman stood up and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my campsite." The scary thing is that the nearest campsite was a mile away. Follow because my next story is crazy.